Kim Jong-un's sister, is even more brutal than him.
We take this opportunity to warn the new US administration, trying hard to give off gunpowder smell in our land. If the US wants to sleep in peace for the coming 4 years, it had better refrain from causing a stink at its first step.
Those words were uttered by Kim Yo-jong in 2021. She was then 32 years old. She was reacting to a joint US-South Korean military exercise. Some were taken aback at Kim's harshness. Most were asking the obvious question, who the heck is she? Kim Yo-jong is the younger sister of Kim Jong-un, and it looks like she's moving up in North Korea. She's often seen at her brother's side these days. Yo-jong oversees Pyongyang's policies towards Seoul and Washington, but for most of her life, she was obscure. Nominally, she's the head of the propaganda ministry, but she personally attended her brother's meeting with Donald Trump. Kim Yo-jong often disappears from view, but she always comes back in force. In April 2022, Kim reappeared after a 6-month silence. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol offered a deal, food and aid to North Korea, in exchange for denuclearization. Kim called his idea the height of absurdity, adding,
"Dogs will always bark, as a pup or an adult, as the same goes for the one with the title of president."
Very little is known about Kim Yo-jong's early life. She's the youngest daughter of Kim Jong-il. That means she comes from the Mount Paktu bloodline. This term refers to direct lineage from Kim Il-sung. He was her and Kim Jong-un's grandfather and the founder of the DPRK. Like her brother, Kim Yo-jong studied in Switzerland. Then she went back to enroll in the Kim Il-sung Military University. In 2011, she was spotted at an Eric Clapton concert in Singapore. That's about all we know about her personal life. She may be married to a senior official. However, there are no photos of them together. Kim's role in North Korean politics is important. She's held an official post since she was 25. In 2018, at 30, she first received international attention. She traveled to South Korea as her brother's emissary. Kim Yo-jong discussed her country's participation in the Olympics. That year's Winter Games were hosted by South Korea. She later appeared at the Olympic opening ceremony. Kim sat close to Vice President Mike Pence. This was the first time in history a Kim family member visited the South. Kim then traveled to Singapore, Vietnam, and the DMZ. She was accompanying her brother when he met with Trump. Kim's messages have always been straightforward. In June 2020, Kim expressed her dissatisfaction with Seoul. The negotiations were going nowhere.
Before long, a tragic scene of the useless North-South Joint Liaison Office, completely collapsed, would be seen.
People thought she was being metaphorical. Days later, North Korea blew up the empty building. In 2022, Kim issued a rebuke to South Korea's defense minister. He said Seoul could destroy North Korea's launchers in case of a nuclear attack. Kim called him a senseless and scum-like guy, making reckless remarks.
South Korea should discipline itself if it wants to stave off disaster.
In August 2022, she accused Seoul of engineering COVID-19. She said the South used it to try and crush the North. Of course, her glorious brother thwarted their evil plans. The biggest question right now is this: will Kim Yo-jong succeed Kim Jong-un? Experts say she's the only advisor he completely trusts. She has attended every new missile launch in 2022 and 2023. The rules of succession in North Korea are a mystery, but she's definitely the most outspoken Kim in a while. Her latest threat, made in March 2023, was almost elegant.
The demonstrative military moves and all sorts of rhetoric by the US and South Korea, which goes so extremely frantic as not to be overlooked, undoubtedly provide us with conditions for being forced to do something to cope with them.